I'm sure I said this recently again on when we finished the Good Morning Walk, but I think it is very, very much very well worth repeating that. Look, when I approach politics, when I sort of look at politics where I come from, I always approach it really with a sense of hope. I have not lost faith in that we can do good things with politics. The main problem I see at the moment is that you have a Conservative Party that ain't interested in really doing, well, good things for the country. And I think you get a sense of a lot of people, and I see this, I think you see a lot of people feeling really disheartened over a sense of politics, especially a lot of young people who got brought into politics and into Labour because of Jeremy Corbyn. But I feel they got um disaffected, disenfranchised, and became so disaffected from Labour, not because of, or even politics in general, should I say, not because of everything that you know of what politics is at the moment, but because they were told by other people in the left that now Jeremy Corbyn is gone, all hope in politics is gone forever. There is no hope left in politics. But this is where you start to get, I think, bigger problems. I think if you do not approach politics as something that you can see as being good and being hopeful, because you've got to fight and you've got to campaign for these things. You've got constantly going to be fighting and pushing for these things. And there's a lot of things recently that happened. I've talked about Starmer's comments about PR. I'm not leaving Labour, nor am I suddenly going to change my mind about PR. I'm going to keep on campaigning for these things. And so will, I think, many progressives in the Labour movement as well, because they are, believe it or not, despite what the left will say, or should I say, other people on the left will say, there are a lot of lefties still in the Labour Party. We are campaigning. We do want to make things better. As I keep on telling you, Thursday is your chance to elect a Labour government. You are electing far, far, far more than just Kier Starmer. You will be electing your MP who might be really in favor of things like PR, which again, we need. They might be really, in favor of rejoining the EU, again, something that we need. They might be really interested in getting all kinds of stuff done. So who you elect on Thursday will matter just as much as whoever takes overall control of the government. And even then, that will fundamentally change how the UK government will operate, right from the top down, as to who is the Prime Minister, who is the Foreign Secretary, who is the Home Secretary, who is the Defence Secretary. It will filter down all the way down to the committees. And we've seen, of course, one of the big things I'm looking forward to is Labour saying we want to give more devolution. We want to give local mayors more power. I've talked recently about Oliver Coppard. Again, not my favorite person. I disagree with him on a number of key issues about the Sheffield City region, but him bringing back Supertram into sort of public ownership and saying, hey, we should actually, fulfill the original promises of Supertram by, extending the network, by making sure that it is extended across South Yorkshire. That's good. I can't disagree with him on that. So, but I want to go over something I think is really, really worth repeating, because this might be one of those speeches that Starmer is really good at, and he says some very, very good stuff in here. But again, it doesn't get repeated, doesn't get talked about, because it was a response to a journalist. Unfortunately, especially this week, could really, really get lost in the ether. So I think it is well worth talking about what was said here. So before we do get into that, Please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there's the Patreon page, there's the Buy Me a Coffee link, there's the YouTube thank you button, there's the Pony Club down below as well. And of course, as always, you can always click the like and share button. So, as always, thank you very much for all those people who do help and support the channel. And now let's crack on into this. And of course, I haven't prepared, didn't prepare it before the stream, but there you go. Anyway, so this, of course, has just come out recently. This is, of course, Starmer being sort of responding to the far-right victory that we saw in France. Like I say, bear in mind, just the first round of voting. Just the first round of voting. So we'll see what happens. I think it's is it 3 or 4 weeks' time? I think the next round of voting will be in France. So we'll see what will happen there. But hey, there will be a lot of consequences if Le Pen does win, but maybe that's another video again if she wins. Maybe we'll talk about it this week. This week on Geoscope. Who knows? But again, we hope she wins. Anyway, back to this. So this is a question from Robert Preston, who asked this. He said, "In France, millions of people have now voted for the far right. What lessons do you take from that?" He says, or Starmer says, so we say, "The lessons I take from this is that we need to address the everyday concerns of so many people in this country who feel disaffected by politics, who feel that either the country is just too broken to be mended or that they cannot trust politics because of what the Tories have done for the last 14 years. And this is, again, a moment I want to really emphasize that. We are changing government. The Tories have been in power for 14 years. And I will say this now. I think a lot of people have fallen out of trust of politicians because of the Tories. And Labour really, really has to rebuild a lot of trust in politics. I mean, a lot of trust in politics. They really have to do that. So he continues. We said we have to take that head on, and we have to show on Thursday that for the United Kingdom and across the Europe and the world, that only progressives have the answers to the challenges that are facing us in this country and across Europe. And I want to say, and I'll repeat that again, only progressives have the answers to the challenges that are facing us in this country and across Europe. And I say this to any person who says, oh, they are just etc. with Tories. Explain that answer. Why then has Kier Starmer come out here and said only progressive have the answers? I challenge you. I challenge you that once Labour get in power, ignore and drop all your preconceptions. I beg you, for the first year at least, drop all your preconceptions and judge this government by what it does and what its actions it will do. Because, again, I'm probably not going to agree with everything, the Starmer government will do. That's politics. You don't agree with everything, a politician or a government, again, goes on to do. But I do think there is a lot of good stuff. And I think him saying that, the fact that he's saying that, I think can bring a lot of hope to politics. I think a lot of hope to a lot of people. I really, really do. But back to this. So he continues. We have to make that progressive call. Again, I love it. But we have to. And in making that, understand why it is, certainly in the United Kingdom, that after 14 years of chaos and failure, that people feel so disaffected with politics. Return politics to service and continue to make the argument that politics is a force for good. Like, how can you disagree or say that Starmer is someone of the right after hearing that speech, when he's clearly saying only progressives have the answers to that we are facing, that we must answer that progressive call, and that We must take the challenges and answer that call, that progressive call to action. That is a amazing call to action. And unfortunately, I think this speech, what he said here, could be lost in the mist of time. So I say this to all, the disaffected left, regardless of where you be, wherever you might be. I say this to you. Go out and vote. Place your hopes in a guy who has just told you that only progressives have the answers to the challenges that this country is facing. And drop all your preconceptions. Drop the fact that, oh, whatever, he's just a Tory. Drop all that. Honestly, drop all that for a year. Let's judge them by their track record. Let's see what they do as a government. Because, like any government, they are going to have successes, they are going to have failures, they're going to do things not everyone is going to agree with. But judge them by their track record. But judge them most of all by the fact that you have just heard Kier Starmer say very definitively that progressives are the only ones who have the answers to the challenges that we are facing. When I've said there will be a progressive bloc that comes out in the next parliament, what more hope can I offer you than what Kier Starmer has just said? So go out on Thursday, destroy the Tories, obliterate them. Because once that's done, that is an open path to a lot of other progressive victories down the line. So, I leave you on that message. And of course, as always, please do remember to like the share button. And of course, if you want to hit the subscribe button. Things are about to change very dramatically, I think, in the UK. So definitely fun times ahead. But as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.